Wynn was born in Chicago but grew up in Pasadena, California. He was an excellent athlete at football, swimming, basketball, and tennis, but his main interests were singing and dancing. He was given singing and acting roles throughout his town, such as a major role in the Music Box Revue Road Company, but he didn't feel like those opportunities would lead to something special. So, he headed out to Europe. Just like in the United States, as he traveled through France, Germany, and Italy, he acted and gave performances with various concerts. It was during this time in Europe that he discovered the work of photographers Man Ray and Laszlo Moholy-Nagy. After that moment, he bought his first camera and began taking photos. However, Wynn never felt like photography could be a career. During the Great Depression, he moved to West Virginia to help his wife's family business, officially quitting professional singing and acting. After that though, he moved to Los Angeles and went to school to become a lawyer, keeping photography as a hobby. Eventually, he quit law school and enrolled in a small, local photography school. He continued his photography career by joining the Army as an equipment photographer at Lockheed and headed the photographic department at Connors-Joyce. After the war, he started selling his photographs on postcards, and made a good living doing so. He also gained some name recognition when he won several awards. He also co-founded the Center for Creative Photography at the University of Arizona with a bunch of other popular photographers like Ansel Adams, Harry Callahan, Aaron Siskind, and Frederick Sommer. Through all of his impressive accomplishments, he is regarded by many as one of the 20th century's great American photographers. For his photography, Wynn always tried to improve on new ways to capture and connect with nature. He grew tired of colored photography as he argued it removed the deep essence of nature, and believed that black and white photography effectively captured it all. He once said, "Whenever I found myself stuck in the ways I relate to things, I return to nature. It is my principal teacher and I try to open my whole being to what it has to say." While his inspirations, Man Ray and Laszlo Moholy-Nagy, didn't photograph nature, that didn't stop Wynn from capturing some truly incredible nature shots. For example, in this one shot, Wynn synthesizes the human and natural world by portraying two hands grasping a tree trunk. And in this shot, Wynn leans against a tree, capturing the connection between humankind and nature. Inspired by Edward Weston's straight nature photography, Wynn started capturing a single element of nature at a time. Take this shot, where the only visible object in the photo is half of an apple. It may be simple, but it is void of man-made distractions. Similarly, this shot of an upright log has the same effect, as well as this one, which was to show nature's circle of life. Wynn also experimented with more abstract, less noticeable nature shots. For instance, here the photo consists of a lot of swirly lines and it is difficult to determine what the main object being captured is. Here's another example of this effect. This photo of a cactus was actually submitted to a 1950s exhibition of love. Wynn saw this picture and tried to capture the tenderness of the cactus. In doing so, he created a really neat abstract macro shot. And here, it is unclear what the main focus of this picture is, but it ends up being a really cool abstract nature shot. Lastly, this layered shot of a leaf resting on top of clovers demonstrates his ability to view nature with an abstract lens. Wynn later departed from nature black and white photography and started to create photographs using what he referred to as a color light abstraction method. These photographs represented an in-depth exploration of light, manifesting his belief that light is a great force at the heart of all being. This shot captures his belief well. It almost looks like something unearthly, but also something someone could paint and then photograph. Here's another color light abstraction shot. You can vaguely see what appears to be clouds, a bridge, and possibly a body of water. Further, in this shot, similar to the first, it almost looks like it was taken in space. This shot, which consists of mainly red, black, and blue, could have been paint, but it was most likely a reflection off of water. This shot, Wynn seems to use a longer exposure to create streaks of colorful light that blend into the main image. Last but not least, this shot looks like it could have been a combination of broken glass and water. In all of these shots, Wynn truly captures light's great influence on nature. I chose to focus on Wynn because of his unique and creative way of capturing nature. Many nature photographers during his time chose color over black and white, but Wynn knew that sometimes using original methods can yield greater results. For my emulations, I tried to capture his way of taking photos. I took one picture for each style of his photography: black and white wide nature shots, Edward West-inspired straight nature shots, and color abstraction shots. For the wide black and white nature shot, I wanted to capture some body of water. For most of Wynn's river photos, he uses a longer exposure, so I did the same. For the straight nature shot, I really liked Wynn's half of an apple picture, so I recreated it with a line. Lastly, for the color light abstraction shot, I recreated a really neat photo of what seems to be people in a city. To recreate the iconic effects, I used longer exposure while moving my camera to mimic the overall look of the original. Wynn Bullock was an incredibly inspirational and influential photographer. A lot of his work can be found in permanent collections of over 90 major institutions throughout the world, as well as in numerous publications. And while he never thought he was going to become a photographer, he surely made waves in the photography industry for his unique ability to capture nature unlike any other.